Imagine knowing how your design will perform before spending a single dollar on a prototype. That's the power of simulation. One of the primary factors in getting accurate results in simulation is choosing the right tool for the job. In this video, I'll help you understand whether a linear or nonlinear solver is the best choice for your analysis so that you can get reliable insights and make better decisions for your projects. I'm John Duffin, a simulation expert at MLC CAD Systems, a trusted solution provider. At MLC, we don't just provide world-class tools, we help you implement them to their full potential so you can achieve the solution that impacts your business. Today, I'll walk through the key differences between linear and nonlinear solvers and illustrate this by showing examples from SOLIDWORKS simulation and Simulia structural, which is powered by Abacus. As a general rule of thumb, if your simulation doesn't have nonlinear effects, a linear solver is a better tool for the job because you will be able to set up and run a simulation much quicker with a linear solver compared to a nonlinear solver. Linear solvers like the ones in SOLIDWORKS simulation work well for a lot of straightforward problems, but when your analysis involves more complex behaviors like materials that permanently deform or have large displacements, you'll need a nonlinear solver like the basic nonlinear solver in SOLIDWORKS simulation or the fully comprehensive one in Simulia structural. Let's break down three key scenarios where nonlinear solvers are needed. The first is material nonlinearity. If you're analyzing something like a metal part deforming past its elastic limit or working with nonlinear materials like rubber, you need a solver that can accurately capture these behaviors. For example, take a look at this stress strain curve of a typical metal. Is the point you're analyzing below the yield point before it starts permanently deforming? If it is below, you're in the linear portion and do not have material nonlinearity. If you need to analyze permanent deformation, you need the nonlinear solver. Now, look at this rubber stress strain curve. Notice there's no straight or linear portion, and therefore it would require a nonlinear solver to accurately represent the material behavior. The second source of nonlinear effects is large deformations, or often referred to as geometric nonlinearity. Here's a quick way to tell. If you look at your part from a distance and it looks significantly different in its deformed state compared to its original shape, you're most likely dealing with large displacements and need a nonlinear solver. Here are a few examples of simulations with geometric nonlinearity. Even if the part returns to its original shape when the loading is released, the large change in shape would still be a geometric nonlinearity. The third type of nonlinearity is boundary condition nonlinearity. This occurs when changes in contacts, forces, or fixtures happen during a simulation, or when you need to run multi-step simulations where one stage builds on the results of another. Take, for example, the bending of this paperclip and then releasing the load to see how much it permanently deforms. The change in input load from loaded to unloaded is a boundary condition nonlinear effect. Or take the snap fit buckle where the location of contact between the parts change throughout the analysis. The change in contact locations is a nonlinear effect. Let's quickly recap the three types of nonlinearities we've discussed. 1. Material nonlinearity. This occurs when materials go beyond their elastic limit or involve inherently nonlinear materials like rubber. 2. Large deformations or geometric nonlinearity. When parts undergo significant changes in shape, you're dealing with geometric nonlinearity. 3. Boundary condition nonlinearity. This involves changes in contacts, forces, or fixtures during a simulation, often requiring multi-step analysis or results from one stage inform the next. If you don't have any nonlinear effects in your analysis, a linear solver will be the quickest to set up and apply, and SOLIDWORKS simulation does an incredible job at this. If you do have nonlinear effects, SOLIDWORKS simulation has a nonlinear solver to handle mildly nonlinear problems, while Simulia structural can handle the full scope of highly nonlinear problems. If you realize that a nonlinear solver is the right choice for your analysis, there's another question to answer. Should you use an implicit or explicit solver? I've created another video that uses examples to explain this, so check it out for a deeper dive into implicit versus explicit solvers. From straightforward linear problems to advanced nonlinear challenges, we've got you covered. However, choosing the right solver is just the beginning. To get the value out of these tools, you need to know how to use them effectively. That's where we come in. Whether if you're working in SOLIDWORKS simulation or moving up to Simulia structural, we offer training programs to help you identify the best solver for the job, optimize your simulations, and make better decisions for your projects. Ready to utilize the power of simulation in your business? Contact us today to schedule a demo or learn more about our training options. Together, we'll help drive the business impact that you need. Thank you.